So you may recognize some of these guys from the earlier video. This fellow, I tried to work on his up arm and it ended up burning to a crisp, so I ended up snipping off an arm off another player. And you see and I'm purposely showing you how bad this is. It's a horrible joint at the shoulder. This guy, you recognize he was all burnt up. You see he's all green. I'm going to show you what this is. And these two guys have sleeves on them. They're identical to the way I left off the last video, but now these guys have these sleeves. These are called shrink wrap tubing. So on Amazon I got this stuff, and it's an assortment. It's like the whole box is like $6 or $8 or something. You got to get these 1/8 inch tubes, and these are perfect for the arms. I mean, the bigger ones I guess for the torso. And let me show you what this is. So on this fellow who's been burnt pretty badly, I'm going to just slip this on here just to get a good measurement. Actually, you know what, I'm going to measure it this way. Cut it right there. I'll show you how easy this is to use. I'm just going to slip it on over his arm. This arm, you know, the reason I'm doing this is the arm's all burnt up and it's skinny and all that kind of stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slip this puppy right on. Any other arm there? This one's not horrendous, but so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this heat gun, which is a $20, $21 heat gun. It's got a little stand. It's got two settings, on low, which is 1, and on high, which is 2. So I'm going to click low, and in a very, very short time this heats up, and yeah, it's already hot. So I'm going to take a pair of pliers, just so I don't burn my delicate little fingers. Get these guys out of the way. And you see how big this tube is. Now watch what happens when I put it here. It's shrinking, it's conforming to the shape of the elbow, and again, I got this on low. I could put it on high, it makes a lot more noise. He's got this sleeve now, and it's attached. So basically this shrink wrap tubing it's a strange compound. When it heats up, it basically shrinks to half of its size. So which is precisely what I've done here. Remember, this guy had these bony little stick arms that were all burnt up. Let's leave that guy for a second. This guy had the same thing. His arms are kind of bony and burnt up, so I just put this on here and just built it up a little bit. Now the thing is, it's got a horrible transition, right? It goes from a tubing down to the burnt up thing. And this guy is going to be the key. So actually I put one of these sleeves on his burnt up leg, and they made it a little bit too big, and I've covered him with liquid green stuff. Now apparently it's not related, or it's not the same as the green stuff, that Knead-A-Tite stuff, which is a 2-part epoxy. What this is like a thick paint. So inevitably I get this on my fingers. So for this guy, I've already done him. You see my skill, I'm getting it halfway up the paintbrush here. So I'm just going to build up this other leg here, so it's about the same size as the other one. The other thing I notice is the arms are still very bony. They're very small, so I'm going to build those up a little bit. And probably 2-3 coats of this stuff, and these arms are going to look a lot more muscular. So let me show you what it looks like on this guy. So now he's got the whole back is nasty. You know, it's from when we burned it. His helmet's even a little bit nasty, so I'll put it there. And I'm especially going to concentrate right on the interface where the shrink wrap tubing meets the figure. Like I said, this is just thick paint. Go on the inside here as well. And also, you know, on the legs, I don't like, I left a very rough finish. You know, when you toast these guys like marshmallows, nasties. So it's basically, instead of sanding them down, I'm just going to smooth them down with this, and it's going to fill in the holes. So I'll just do bulk of the figure here. Certainly beats the heck out of trying to sand this guy down every little nook and cranny. Alright. Same for this guy. Just going to go every little nook and cranny. Again, concentrating on the edges of the where the shrink tubing meets the figure, because there's going to be a little step there. You know, as it goes from fatter to skinnier there on the arm. And this guy's probably going to need a second coat here up in this bicep here, because the shrink wrap I wasn't able to squish it all the way up there. And since it is a tubing, it pretty much needs to shrink around as a tube. I wouldn't be able to put a sheet on this guy's back and melt it on there. You know, it's not adhering, it's not like a glue, it's basically just shrinking to half of its size, and that's what makes it stick to what's inside. So basically the purpose of this is like for electrical connections. If you have you know, two bare wires coming together. I mean, typically what I've done for a million years is just use electrical tape, but this is a different solution, slightly more elegant solution, I guess. These figures are smoothed out, and this guy, like I said, he's got the disaster up in the shoulder region, but that's okay. And again, this is probably just going to be multiple coats here. Also, his helmet was pretty nasty there too. So. I'm still going to have to attach a foot to this fellow and one of the other guys. And the other thing you got to know about this, it says in the instructions very clearly, wash your brush immediately after use. So I've done 2 coats without the camera on, so let me do one more. Filling in nicely. I'm just going to show you here, this one might need another coat or two. He's still got a little indentation there. In his back he's got a interesting indentation as well. This guy's shaping up pretty well. This gap in his shoulder, from where the new arm was attached, that seems to be pretty good. This guy's helmet, I torched the helmet pretty badly too on this guy, so adding it there. I'm thinking some of these guys may need a little bit of help with an emery board or something, or some sandpaper. Yeah, this guy's turning into a chub. Yeah, right now it just looks like green pajamas on this guy, but I imagine that'll get fixed when he's painted purple and white.